Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well this morning. So this is a day 11 of our yoga challenge. So if you've made it this far, we're almost halfway. Good job. So this is the practice I wanted to do the other day, but the kids were snowed in for their snow day. So they're back at school today, so we're going to do this practice. And this is going to be a really gentle practice, and the focus is going to be on the female cycle. So when we have our monthly cycle, we don't practice the same, and our practice shouldn't look the same day to day, but definitely during our monthly cycle. We tend to be more tired. We might have muscle aches and pains. For me, I get a lot of discomfort in my hips and my lower belly, lower back. So that's going to be some of our focus is going to be into the hips and focusing on kind of the womb area and the lower back and the sacral chakra and the root chakra. So we're going to focus a little bit on that and a little bit into the heart chakra as well, because we always tend to have these big releases during the monthly cycles. So when we're practicing yoga, it's really about listening to your body, as always, listening to what your body needs. So if you're feeling like you're really just exhausted and it's the time of the month or the first few days when you're just really needing to take a step back, doing some really restorative yoga, really relaxing yoga can help to support you in that time of the month. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm sorry for any men who might be watching. You're welcome to do this practice as well. It is great for the hips. It's great for the lower back. So if you have any of those issues, you can use it for other things as well. But the main focus today and the intention will be working with kind of the womb center and our moon cycle. All right? So what you're going to need for practice today is a small pillow, a bolster, or those big long pillows I was talking about. You can have a blanket if you'd like. I want to give you an option to use like a magic bag or a heating pad of some sort if you'd like. So if you have one, you can have it warmed up and ready to go. And I have about 4 of these blocks. So if you don't have 4 of them, that's okay. 2 of them will be fine. All right? So let me do with what we have. So we're going to start on our back in Shavasana. So finding your comfortable Shavasana. Now we talked about this in another practice about the different versions of Shavasana that you can go into. So laying on your back, feet can be rolled to the sides, arms next to you, palms facing up. And if this is a comfortable position, you're welcome to stay here. And if not, just finding whatever works for you. Maybe propping your legs up, feet up, and allowing your knees to drop in. You can roll to your side or your belly, of course. But we'll just take a moment in Shavasana, and we'll take some 3 cleansing breaths. So we're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale, release the breath. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, letting it go. One more big inhale through the nose. And exhale, release the breath. And then just begin to settle, making those little movements, finding what's comfortable. We're going to relax into the mat. We're going to begin to tune into how we're feeling in this moment. So checking in with your thoughts, just noticing any thoughts that are running through your head, maybe some stress you're holding on to, and allowing it to just be, maybe setting it aside to deal with later. And then looking at your emotional state, checking in with how you feel. Depending on where you are in your cycle, you might be a little more emotional, a little bit more teary. And that's okay, just accepting where you're at in this moment. And then bringing awareness to your physical body. And checking in if there's any places that feel tight, maybe some tension, maybe you're having cramps, maybe some lower back pain. And just scanning your body. And just recognizing where those places are. And maybe start to begin to send your breath to those places. And then recognizing your breath. Noticing how it feels today. Noticing the temperature of your breath and the texture of your breath. Noticing if you're holding your breath in any way. And we're going to begin to soften our breath. And we're not going to move into any deep pranayams today. We're going to just stay with our natural breath, but just making it a very mindful breath. So inhaling and exhaling, and maybe just slightly lengthening it, smoothing out the corners. And we're going to place our hands on our belly, so into kind of our womb center. And just taking a moment here and connecting to this life-giving force within us. Sending it support and love. And maybe asking what your body needs today. Does it need extra rest? Does it need quiet? Do you need a bath? Maybe you just need a good cry. And just honoring whatever comes to the surface. And making it your intention to bring whatever your soul, your body needs today into your daily practice off the mat and on the mat. So releasing our hands next to us, palms facing up. We're going to begin to bring some movement back into our body. We're going to wiggle our fingers and our toes. We're going to tilt our head from side to side. And then when you're ready, taking an inhale, we're going to shrug the shoulders up to our ears. And then relax them back down. Inhale, shoulders up to our ears. Exhale, release them back down. One more time, inhale, shoulders up to our ears. And then relax them back down. We're going to place our feet on the mat and then allow our knees to drop in towards each other. And then bringing our knees back out, we're going to begin to kind of window wiper them side to side. So just taking some movement into the spine, into the lower body. And moving mindfully and as slow as you'd like. This just stimulates into the sacral chakra and the root chakra. Finding some balance. And then coming into center, we're going to hug in our knees into our chest, giving ourselves a big hug, and we can rock out our lower back, releasing any tension there. And then coming into center here, we're going to drop the right foot down and we're going to pull in this left knee into our chest here. Now we can keep this right leg bent up, or we can straighten it along the mat. And we're going to begin to move into wind reliever. So we're going to drop this knee out to the left shoulder, and then coming all the way back into center. Coming out to the left shoulder, and then back into center. So you're window wipering it back and forth, finding some movement into the hips, into the lower part of your belly even. Massaging. And then we're going to move into hip circles. So you can pick whatever direction you're going. So going in one direction first, finding a little bit of movement. This is where I feel a lot of tension during that time of the month. So if you're like me, this always feels really nice. And then we'll switch directions, going the opposite way. And then we'll come into center, and then we're just going to squeeze this knee in just a little bit as far as what feels comfortable for you. And then release. We're going to pull both knees into our chest, give ourselves a hug, and rock it out side to side. And then propping down our left leg, pulling this right knee into our chest, keeping the left leg planted or lengthwise on your mat. And then we're going to begin to move into wind reliever, so coming out to the right side, and then coming back into center. And then just moving back and forth. You can flex your toes to keep your knees safe if you have any knee issues. And then when you're ready, and if you'd like to, you can begin to move into hip circles in one direction. And feel free to close your eyes at any point if that helps you kind of to tune into your body, tune into the experience a little more deeply. And then we'll reverse the direction. So making these circles as small or as big as you'd like, and just finding some movement. And then we're going to come back into center here. We're going to squeeze this knee in as deep as we can go. That feels good, so giving it a good hug. And then dropping it down on the floor, pulling the knees both up into the heart center, giving yourself a hug, and rocking from side to side. And then we're going to roll to one side. So finding the fetal position. Finding a comfortable spot on the side here. Cradling your head. And just breathe. And then when you're ready, coming all the way up to seated. So finding a comfortable position on your mat. So you have a couple of options for your legs. You can have your legs out. You can have Sukhasana, one in front of the other. We're going to sit up nice and tall here. Closing our eyes and just taking a moment to reconnect. And then when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale over to the right with your right ear. Inhale to center. Exhale over to the left ear to left shoulder. Inhale to center. Over to the right. And then you're going to do half circles. So just moving very slow and mindfully all the way to the left. Inhale here, and then exhale all the way to the right. And then inhale here, exhale. So during the time of the month, for me, I like to feel very fluid, just moving intentionally and almost intuitively, so whatever really feels good. I like to take a lot of full body movements, which we'll move into in a moment. And then we're going to come one more half circle around, and then we're going to come up to the center. Inhaling shoulders up to the ears, exhale them down the back and around. So we're doing the shoulder circles, finding some movement. And welcome to keep your eyes closed. Keep them open. Doing two more in this direction. And then we're going to switch directions. So I find my practice during the time of the month is very restorative, but also very expressive and creative, and working with that feminine energy. So a lot more of a flow sort of practice. And then coming into center. So we're going to do full body hip circle sort of movement. So sitting up nice and tall, inhaling. We're going to go over to the right and then coming down to the left. And then circling back around. So these circles can be as big as you'd like. You can move into the shoulders. You can come all the way down and around. I encourage you to close your eyes and connect to your own movement. Finding that rhythm that works good for you. So once again, we're stirring into that root chakra and the sacral chakra, kind of bringing the energy up the spine. And we're going to do two more in this direction. And then we're going to switch directions. So going over to the left first and then the right. Listening to your body. Alright, two more in this direction. And when you are done, you can come into center here. So from here, we're going to roll over to our hands and knees. I'll turn to the side. So we're going to go into cat-cow. So curling the toes under if you'd like. The knees are under the hips. The wrists are under the shoulders. We're going to drop the belly, gazes up. Inhale. Exhale, curling the back, navel to spine. Inhale, gazes up. Exhale, curling the back, navel to spine, chin to chest. Moving at your own pace and moving with your breath. Going as slow as you'd like. Making the movements and the breath very mindful, very intentional. And from here, we're going to come into one more cat and one more cow. And then when you're ready, we're going to come into center. So from here, we're going to come into child's pose, but we're going to use the props. So we're going to use the bolster, or if you have a big pillow, we're going to use that. We are going to use the heating pad. This is really good if you feel that you need some heat on the lower belly. I personally love heat on the lower belly when I'm getting cramps, so heating pads are really good, and having a little bit of pressure on the belly always makes me feel a little bit better. So do what feels right for you, but if you do have a heating pad, we're going to place it on the bolster, and we're just going to lean forward, finding our comfortable position and just resting our head. So you can start with your ear, whichever side you'd like first. And remembering you can prop your sit bones up with bolsters. You can put more pillows on your bolster. You can even put a pillow here if you need to prop up. And just taking some moments here. So this is the restorative part. You should feel completely relaxed into the bolster, completely supported. Big belly breath, so we really want to inhale, blowing that belly out. Exhale, releasing and melting into the bolster. Coming back to the intention of how can you support yourself during this time of the month. What is it that your body needs? What is it that your mind needs? And honoring it. So if you need more rest, not apologizing for it, just sleeping in if you need to, take a nap if you need to. And then we're going to come up, we're just going to switch our ear to the other side so that we don't get a kink in our neck. Remembering that these postures you can stay in for as long as you'd like. And if you find a specific posture that really honors what you need, to use that as your whole practice, even if you'd like. Taking 2 more deep belly breaths here. And then when you feel ready, you're welcome to come all the way up. So we'll move the heating pad off to the side. Ooh. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep this bolster, we're going to use this bolster, but we're going to set up for the next posture. So, about 2 blocks is good. Now the 2 other blocks or pillows, whatever you have, is going to be used for your knees. So I'm just going to pull this up a bit. So it's going to look like that. So if you have the double pillow, you can do that as well instead of a bolster. So from here, we're pulling the bolster right on the lower part of our back, and we're coming all the way down. So finding that spot, making sure that you're supported, if you feel supported. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So our feet are going to be together, and then our knees are going to drop over to the side. So this is where the other blocks or pillows, you're welcome to use pillows, come into handy to prop up your knees if you feel like you're kind of floating up high. So if you need that, you can place them underneath. If not, you can allow your knees to just drop open. And from here, we're going to place our hands on the womb center again, closing our eyes and just connecting with this energy. Connecting with what you need today. And just taking some big deep belly breaths again. So inhaling, blowing the belly out. Exhale, releasing the belly down. Inhale, blowing the belly out. Exhale, releasing. Inhale, blowing the belly out. And then exhale, letting it go. You're welcome to stay with your feet in Baddha Konasana, or if you'd like to, you can extend your legs out and just allow your feet to roll open. And your hands can stay on your womb center, or you can open them up to the sides. kind of like Shavasana, reclined Shavasana. We're just going to take a few moments here, allowing our hips to relax if there was any tension in the previous pose. Two more deep, mindful breaths. And then when you're ready, you can prop your feet up. And we're just going to roll over. So whatever side makes sense to roll off the bolster safely. And we're going to come up to seated. I'm going to take the bolster off to the side. We're going to keep it right in front. So it's not going to go anywhere. We're just going to move these blocks over to the side. All right. And we're coming all the way down, and we're going to do a lying down. So we're coming onto our sides. So we'll lie. So propping our head up, we'll start with the left side. So this left leg's going to be straight. So I'll show you the bolster out of the way. So my left leg's straight. And then my right leg's just going to come on top of the bolster. So we're just going to put the bolster or the pillow here. And we're going to allow our leg to drop. So this is where a pillow under the head could help if you need. And then just allowing a little bit of a twist into that lower spine. Very gentle, very restorative. Closing your eyes again if you'd like. Taking a moment to just relax into the twist. Very supportive and gentle twist. And once again, stimulating the two lower chakras and even a little bit into the upper belly as we twist into kind of the middle part of our stomach here. So and slowing everything down, letting everything go. We'll take two more breaths here. And then we're going to roll off of our pillow, roll off our bolster. We can roll onto our back if this makes sense to roll this way. And then we can move the bolster to the other side. Cradling our head, leg straight, and then the other leg on top of the bolster. So taking a few minutes here, relaxing into this twist. Big belly breaths. Taking two more breaths here. And then when you're ready, coming all the way out, so rolling the bolster out of the way. And we're just going to roll onto our back for a moment. Propping our feet up, knees in towards each other, hands on the lower belly. And just taking a couple of breaths here. When when you're ready, we're going to roll to the side. Fetal position, cradling your head, allowing anything that doesn't serve you to melt away into the mat. Any stresses, any worries, any pain or sadness, just letting it go. And then when you feel ready, coming all the way back up to seated. So finding a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. Take our hands, rubbing them together. We're going to place them on our lower belly. Just connecting with that womb center one more time. Connecting with the feminine energy, the beauty that exists within us. And then rubbing our hands together again, creating some heat. And then placing them on your heart center. Take a moment, bow down to yourself. Thank yourself for showing up today. Thank your body for all the hard work it does. And make sure to honor your needs today during this time of the month. And then hands at heart center. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide your practice today. The light, the love, and the beauty within me honors and sees the light, the love, and the beauty within you. And this way we are all one. Namaste.